Matthews, and as you know, I run Empowered STEM. Empowered STEM is an A-level course provider, and we provide A-level courses in biology, chemistry, physics, and maths for those students that want to enroll in medical, dental, veterinary, financial, and engineering programs at the chosen university in the UK. Today, I wanted to come in and talk to you about how you can do an autumn term academic check-in with your teen. Because parents, is something feeling off when it comes to your teen's academic progress in their A levels? You know how it is. Things seem to be going well. They seem to be happy. They seem to be doing well in chemistry, biology, and maths. And you think, well, yes, they're on track for the A or the A star. Or are they? Because are they really on track? Or is it that there's small issues that you didn't identify that if you got in there and fixed them now, it would be a lot easier to fix them before they turn into large issues, as in the small crack in the dam before the entire dam breaks? But the question is, do you step in now or do you wait? Because some parents would say, I'd wait until there's an issue because I'm expecting my teen to be able to figure this out on their own because they're going to university next, Graham. Right. The core problem is this. The core problem is what you're waiting for is you're waiting for a bad test result. You're waiting for some evidence to come in that suggests that there's something going wrong. So it may be a bad test result. It may be a bad report card. It may be a teacher feedback that isn't exactly stellar. And the issue with waiting until you get something from the school is that if you wait for the grade to come back from the teacher, the issue is that grade, as we've talked about before, is a snapshot of the habits of what your teen did last month. Because it isn't current, it's based on what they've learned and how they've improved over the last month. Grades are a lagging indicator of success. And so if you wait for the grade to come out from the teacher, the issue is that it's an issue that has been festering for at least a month. So maybe autumn term then, parents, maybe it's time to get in there and look for the early signals of your teen needs help and support, and maybe you should come in as a parent and help them out. Now, we're talking about an academic check-in. So let me clarify for you what I mean by an academic check-in. And I'm always guided by this idea. You're either the referee or the coach. You don't want to be the referee, parents, where you're on the field with them, handing out red cards, quoting the rule book. No, what you want to be is the coach on the sideline, guiding them along to their own version of academic success. So, what an academic check-in is not. It is not an interrogation. You're not saying to your teen, why is it not going well in A-level chemistry? How many hours a week are you studying? What exactly are you doing? Why are you not like your friends who obviously get the A and the A star? It's not a lecture. They don't want to hear a lecture. They want to be autonomous. They don't want to hear a lecture, parents, because if you lecture them, they're just going to shut down and walk off. We don't want that to happen. It isn't a performance review. You're not saying, well, what I need to see is how many days a week are you studying, and how many hours a night are you doing chemistry, and how many past papers are you doing? Like, walk around with a clipboard. No, we're not doing that either. And one thing we're not doing is we're not asking why questions. Now, this is important because if you ask a why question, as in, why do you think it's not working well in A-level chemistry? Why do you think you have a C? Why is it that your friend seems to get it, but you don't? why are you not putting the hours in that you should be putting in? If you ask a why question, what they're going to do is defend themselves, because a why question from psychology, we know, accesses the belief systems. And so if you say, well, why is it not going too well in A-level chemistry? Why can't you be like your friend? They will look outside of themselves. They will look external to themselves and come up with a reason. Because, this is the answer, because, belief statement, because it's the teacher's fault. I mean, we've all got a D in the class. Or it's the exam board. It's a tough exam. I'm on a different exam board. Or it's school life balance. Well, I am taking chemistry, biology, and math. I'm doing 3 A levels. Or it's a social comparison. Well, yes, but my friend, she always did well in science. Even at GCSE, she did well in science. Because you're being the referee and you're making them defensive. On the other hand, you could step over to the side of being a coach, which is what you want to do. You want to move to the right and be a coach. And maybe have a conversation with them at an appropriate time during the week. Maybe not after they get a test back, maybe not on a Monday morning, but could be on a Saturday morning, could be on a Wednesday evening. And you're looking for a calm reset, calm conversation where it's a shared review. We are saying, well, son, daughter, can you walk me through exactly how you're organizing your week when it comes to studying A-level chemistry? How are you revising for these tests? How can I help? Because what you're looking for is you're looking for clarity in the situation. And it's very important, parents, that you are on the same side of the table as your teen is. You want to be in alliance with them. You want them to understand, Mom, Dad are really trying to help me out with A-level chemistry. This is not adversarial. Okay, they're looking to see how they can support me. And the common enemy, if you would, is, well, it's the exam. We have to get the A or the A star. And make it low pressure, make it low key. Because what you're looking for is you're looking for insight and not judgment. If you get insight with your teen, you are acting as a coach. If you get judgment with your teen, you are acting like a referee. Now, when you have the conversation with your teen, there's 4 areas you need to touch on. So imagine a quadrant. Here we go. First one is understanding. Do they understand the course content? Now, this is a big one. Do they understand it? They may be attending lesson. Yes. They may be watching those YouTube videos. Right. They may be doing what we call passive learning, which is they're copying over the notes. Maybe they're trying to work with their friends, trying to get some work done. And maybe they fall into the trap of memorizing mark schemes. But you need to make sure that they understand the course content first. If they do, great. If they don't, well, then this is the first area you need to work on. The second area, top right, would be exam techniques. How are their exam techniques? Because understanding in A-level will get you to a C. Moving your teen up to a B or an A means that they need to apply it and they need really good exam techniques. And so ask them, how are their exam techniques? Are they making silly errors, as in not putting down units, significant figures? Are they missing concept questions? Are they not quite getting the 4 marker questions right? Are they not doing the mechanisms correctly in A-level chemistry? The 6 markers, or maybe the 20 markers in biology? Right. What exactly is their exam technique? Are they able to quickly identify command words, examiner traps, tips, strategies? Basically, lay the answer out on the paper in a way that the examiner can quickly see they understand and can apply the concept. If they can, brilliant. If not, this is an area that you need to work on. How are their routines and habits? Now, this is something that we talk about a lot at Empowered STEM. How are their routines and habits? Do they have a routine? Is their day, are the days of the week organized for them? Do they know what they're doing Monday through Friday and on the weekend? Do they know what subject they're studying each night? Do they have a routine set up? If they do, good. How are the habits? So a habit is something which they do automatically without thinking. Meaning, every Monday it is A-level chemistry for 2 hours in the nighttime. Every Tuesday it's A-level biology. It's a habit. If you ask them, what are you doing next week on this day? I'm doing this. I'm doing A-level biology, chemistry, or maths. And the routine is when they come in, they're very, very structured in what they do in the study sessions, and they're very structured in what they do in the review sessions. How are the confidence and mindset? Are they confident that they can achieve the A or the A star in A-level maths and science? Do they have evidence that they can do this? Are they confident that their study skills, revision strategies will actually get them the grade that they want? How's their mindset? Do they have a growth mindset, or is it a fixed mindset? Are they resilient? If they get a bad test grade, a bad lab report grade, they didn't quite get it right, can they bounce back from it? These are the questions that you need to be asking your teen. These are the 4 areas that you should be working with in your teen and the conversation that you're having with your teen. Now, at Empowered STEM, we touch on all these areas, and we do it by using our STEM path method. 4-step method that we use in order to help your teen move from where they are in A-level maths and science all the way up to an A or an A star. So we start with precision diagnosis. We have a conversation with your teen. They take a diagnostic test with us. And so we know what they know and what they don't know when it comes to content, exam technique, mindset. It's like getting a prescription from the doctor. You go down to see the doctor, they run all the tests, they come back and say, this is exactly what's wrong, and then we know how to fix it. Then we move on to conceptual clarity. Now, to us, conceptual clarity means that your teen really understands all the concepts. It isn't this glib overview of the concept. We go deep so that they understand the concept. Forwards and backwards, left and right, up and down, it doesn't matter. The examiner can ask them a question about the concept in any way that they want, and our teens and our courses will be able to answer it correctly and get the maximum number of points. Strategic revision, 3rd step. We help your teen get organized for the week, study planner. We tell them how to study. We show them how to study for A-level, and this is a skill set that they can take with them to university. And then we show them how to revise using the 6 pillars of neuroscience. And so in our courses, our teens are taught how to work smart. Not work hard, how to work smart, how to leverage everything that they've got. And then the last step in the pathway is medical mindset. We get in there with academic coaching, and we help rewire your teen so that they will naturally become the type of A-level student that would get the A or the A star. And they will go off to their top choice university, and they will be the doctor, the dentist, the veterinarian. Now, Let me give you some guidance then, parents, for having this conversation, because this conversation is pivotal. It's in the autumn term, yes, pivotal conversation. Number one, make sure that you choose the right moment, because teens can be emotional. They can be frustrated. They can be angry in the moment if they get a bad test result back, or a bad exam, or a bad report, or a bad grade. All right. So pick the right moment. You know your teen better than anybody else. And number two, ask clarifying questions before advising them. Meaning, we're not asking the why questions, we're asking the what questions. We're getting them to unpack what's going on with the situation at A-level maths or A-level science. Number three, keep it short. No more than 15 minutes, if that. They don't need to sit down for hours with you. They don't need a 30-minute conversation. Keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Agree on 1 to 2 adjustments that you can make in their approach. Don't give them this laundry list of things that they've done wrong and things that they need to work on, because it's overwhelming. What you need them to do is be autonomous and say, right, these are the 2 things that I can work on, as Brendon Burchard would say, that's going to spike the needle, make the biggest improvement in my grade over the next month. Keep a very short time window at the end of it. And give them reassurance. Because to them, A-level maths and A-level science, these exams, these courses are the most important academic endeavor they've ever undertaken. And so they need to know that you're on their side of the table, that you're working with them against a common adversary, that you've got their back, that you're being a coach, you're not being a referee. So reassure them that they're doing their best, you're helping them improve, and that you'll walk the path together to the A star in A-level maths and A-level science. So, is it a student story? Well, of course there is, parents. Right. Let me tell you about Izzy. Izzy is another one of our students that went through our A-level chemistry course. She earned an A in A-level chemistry, and she got into a top choice university, and she's studying neuroscience. When Izzy came to us, I think it's fair to say chemistry wasn't her best friend. It was year 13. No, she'd been predicted an A when she was sitting at a D. Chemistry wasn't her best friend, parents. But one thing we did is that we had a conversation with Izzy, and we helped to understand, look, what you need to do, your parents have invested in this course with us. Brilliant. So what you need to do is you need to have a check-in. We need to understand where you are along this pathway in terms of your understanding of the course content, study skills, revision strategies, exam techniques, confidence, mindset. Where exactly are you? In short, parents, we had to diagnose, and then we can write the prescription. And then we put a plan together for her. And the plan we put together for her was that we helped her get a firm understanding in course content, helped her with exam technique, and then helped her with the mindset. It was a 3-step approach. And she went back and talked to her mum and her dad about it. And her mum and her dad were on board as well, because it's a team effort at Empowered STEM. And like I said, she went through the course and she earned an A on her final exam in A-level chemistry. Now, the real question is, why did her parents invest in the course? Simple. In the autumn term, they realized that something was not quite right with Izzy in A-level chemistry year 13. She'd done rather well in year 12. She'd earned an A. got the got the A prediction. Something was off. And so her parents, they didn't dawdle, they didn't waste time. They reached out to us and they intervened. And because he intervened, Issy earned an A. Now, what I need to reassure you then, parents, is this. You need to do the early adjustments and alignment with your teen's academic progress. Start with the autumn term. Do not wait until they get the report card from the school, or it's a parent evening and it's not going too well, or your teen is really, really frustrated with A-level maths and science. Get in there early. Look for the early signs that I talked about. To be fair, if you think that there's something not quite right with your teen's academic progress in A-level maths and science, you're probably right. So what I need you to do is this, is have a think. Is what I'm talking about, is it resonating with you? Are you listening and going, actually, Graham, it does make perfect sense? Well, if it does, I need you to do a couple of things for me. Number one is this, is that if you're watching this Facebook Live, below the Facebook Live, there is a description and there's a link on it which you can click. All right, and then it allows you to reach out to us. Or if you're watching the YouTube live version of it, below it is a description with a link on it which allows you to reach out to us. If you're on Facebook, join the Facebook business page so that you'll be notified of upcoming live streams. If you're on the YouTube, then subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified of the upcoming live streams. And you can access all the live streams that we do. We do live streams throughout the week, lunchtime, to help parents just like you with the tips, strategies, and techniques to help your teen become the best version of themselves. Now, if you want to learn more about our courses, really easy to do. Click on the link in the description on Facebook or on YouTube. Fill out the form. And a member of my team will reach out to you and they will have a non-sales conversation with you. It's a low pressure conversation. It's really easy. How it goes is this, is that you tell us how your teen is doing in A-level maths and science, what the working grade is, what they're working at right now, their predicted grade, their aspirational grade, what university they want to go to, what degree they want to get, a doctor, dentist, veterinarian. And we tell you about our courses and how our courses can help your teen achieve these goals. And at the end of the conversation, parents, you will feel well informed and well taken care of, have all of your questions answered. And if you feel it's right for you to invest in one of our courses, and if we feel that we can genuinely help your teen achieve these goals that they're aiming for, well, you can make the decision whether you take the next step and enroll your teen into one of our next cohorts of A-level chemistry, biology, physics, or maths. Everybody take care, and I'll see you on the next one.